Again, reviewing transformations of parent functions or transformations of graphs. And our first type of transformation that we're going to take a look at is what is called a translation or a shift. And we can have horizontal shifts along the horizontal or x-axis, and we can have vertical shifts, translations up and down the vertical or y-axis. And the parent function in this exercise that we're going to be reviewing is the cubic function. And just in general, the cubic function is going to look something like that. Although in its parent form, it's going to do that little wobble through the origin. Let's see if I can erase that. Well, that's closer, but not exact. Now, when we're just looking at the equation itself, if like in this first case where we got x cubed minus 5, you notice that that's not in a parentheses or a grouping symbol. And so this is going to then present itself as a vertical shift or a vertical translation down 5 units. Now in our second example, we got x minus 3 cubed, and since that negative 3 is inside a parentheses or a grouping symbol, it's going to represent a horizontal shift. It's going to move, and in fact in this case it's a negative 3. It's actually going to move this parent function. It's going to shift it 3 units to the right. And this is where it kind of becomes a little bit counterintuitive. It's just something that you really just need to get fixated in your mind, because if I'm thinking of a negative movement, a negative move along the horizontal axis, I'm thinking it's going to move to the left. But in reality, we're going to see that this moves to the right. So this is going to be a horizontal shift. Three units to the right. So that was a plus 3, it would move it to the left. And then in the last function, x plus 2 cubed plus 4, we see both a vertical and a horizontal shift. And so we're going to see a horizontal shift that's going to move 2 units to the left along the x-axis, and it's going to be a vertical shift up 4. So we're going to go and graph these alongside its parent function so that we can actually see these translations take effect. All right, well, I'm in y equals, and I'm going to clear out what I had here. I had quite an equation there. And I'm first going to just represent the graph of the parent function, x cubed, a cubic function. And it's going to appear in blue. And then in y2, I'm going to graph our first translation, which was x cubed minus 5. So x cubed minus 5. And let's see what our graph looks like. And that's going to be in red. The transformation is going to be in red. All right, so there's our parent function. And then there is our translation of 5 units down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so we see that it didn't really move along the horizontal axis. It just shifted it down by 5. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to clear this y2. And we're going to graph the second function, which was x minus 3 in parentheses. So x minus 3. And that's cubed. And again, I left the parent function up there, which is going to be in blue. And x minus 3 cubed is going to be in red. Here's the parent. And you can see that it just did a horizontal shift. Here it crosses the origin. The blue crosses the origin at 0, 0. And here we got intercepts at where x is equal 3, x plus 3. So that x minus 3 shifted this to the right 3 units. And again, that's a little bit counterintuitive. And then lastly, we're going in and graph this last function, which is x plus 2. That's in parentheses cubed plus 4. So we're going to see a horizontal shift to the left of 2 units and up 4. And again, I'm going to clear my y2. And so we had parentheses x plus 2. And we're going to cube that. Close our parentheses. Cube it. And then also plus 4. So a vertical shift up 4. Let's take a look at how that looks. And there goes our parent, and there goes our translation. So it moved it, if I look right here, if I come across here, it moved it up 4 units, and then it also shifted that little wobble right there that's characteristic of a cubic function. It moved it 2 units to the left. So vertical shifts, horizontal shifts. I prefer the term shift to translation. Just makes a little bit more sense, but to be totally accurate, it's a translation or a shift, vertical or horizontal. It's horizontal if it's inside a grouping symbol. It's vertical if it's outside any grouping symbol.